All right, wonderful. So, good afternoon, everybody. Welcome to Startup Huddle St. Lucia virtual. Today is May 13th. It is 5:14, and we have a wonderful event here for you today. This is the first time we are presenting virtually. Startup Huddle St. Lucia is a program for entrepreneurs by entrepreneurs. It is a safe space for everybody who is an entrepreneur or a leader to share their stories, their ventures, their companies, and also their social enterprises with others in the same field, in the same industry, and also within the same community. When I say community, I mean the entrepreneurial community within St. Lucia. Okay. Also, let's mute everybody again. Okay, thank you. Also, just letting you know that we have two presenters this afternoon, and these two presenters are who I'd like to call professional ladies. Why? Because they recently concluded a program, a 7-week free training program called Dream to Reality Professional Business Training Course. And this is the second stage in their journey after starting out with the course. And I am just so proud to have been associated with these ladies, to get to know them. One of them is from the blended class, where we had 2 live sessions a week. And the other lady who's presenting is from the online only class, meaning that she did the course all on her own with just a little bit of supervision from me and collaboration from her other classmates and colleagues. And so these first 2 ladies are both in the food industry. They love what they do. They have a passion for what they do. And what we're doing right now in this forum is we're going to listen to their stories. We're going to watch their presentations live as they share their screens. And then we're going to engage with them during the Q&A portion. They're going to present for 6 minutes, after which the expert panel will be engaged in a conversation talking about the presentation and also what he may have read about on their Facebook pages or their websites. Now remember, whatever we discuss here is for the benefit of the presenters. There is constructive criticism, suggestions, and advice made, okay? It is not a judging competition. It is a safe space where they are basically seeking advice from us and support from us so that they can understand how they are doing and how they can improve and what they could try to improve in their business and in their professional lives. So this is what this forum is about. It is a supportive environment. Now moving on to after the first presenter goes for 6 minutes and the Q&A with the expert panel, then the floor is open to the rest of the audience, meaning you're now able to unmute yourself and then ask your questions. This is an engaging opportunity. Talk to the presenter, find out the why, the what, and how also you can possibly help support them. If it is that you have contacts and resources that can help the presenter in their business, this is the moment that you share this information. And I'm sure that our presenters will be more than happy to jot down the information and advice that you have to give them. If it is some information that you can share in the chat, please utilize the chat to the right-hand side. If you look to the bottom of the bar of the platform, you will see chat, that little icon here. When you open this up, you're able to see the area where you can actually post in your question or post in a link if it is that you have a link that you'd like to share. But the goal is so that we can interact with each other and ask your questions verbally, okay? If you want to direct a particular question to the presenter herself, then you press the arrow button where it says everyone, you select the presenter's name, and then you address, or you basically type in your comment or your question directly to the presenter, and only the presenter can see. But whenever everyone is selected in the chat, then when you post your comment or your query, everyone can see your questions, okay? But for the purpose of this event, we want to hear you, okay? It is fully engaged. We will also be talking about a couple of announcements that we have, and also acknowledging some of our partners and our sponsors as well. So without further ado, as we normally start off every single Startup Huddle St. Lucia event, I invite you to bow your head with me for prayer. Father, Lord, I want to thank you for your breath of life. Thank you for your many blessings. I also want to thank you for this opportunity to engage once again with the small business, the entrepreneurial, and the leadership community. Father, Lord, preside over us now and be in the midst of us as we share our ideas, as we share our suggestions, and as we encourage and support one another. Father, Lord, I ask that you put a blessing upon each and every one of us and each and every one of our businesses and ventures. Let them be fruitful, I ask. In your Son, Jesus Christ's precious name, amen. Thank you so much for engaging with me in prayer. And now I would like to introduce to you the members of Team Startup Huddle St. Lucia who are currently on this call. So as I state their name, they're going to unmute themselves. They're going to state their name and the role that they play in Startup Huddle St. Lucia. Let us begin with Michaela Charles Noel.
Hello, good evening, everybody. My name is Michaela Charles Noel, and I am the presenter recruitment head for Startup Huddle St. Lucia.
Okay, thank you so very much, Michaela. Let's go to Lisa Yard. Lisa, please unmute yourself so we can hear you.
Sorry about that, not my fault. My name is Lisa Yard. I'm the project manager for Startup Huddle St. Lucia. Welcome.
Okay, thank you so very much, Lisa. Okay, let's go to Ronetta Billy.
Hello, everyone. I am the coach for Startup Huddle St. Lucia. I help the presenters to prepare for this presentation.
Okay, awesome. Thank you so very much, Ronetta. Let's go to Anita James. Anita, can you hear me? Okay, so I'm thinking probably Anita is having some audio issues, but just to quickly introduce her, Anita James is the one responsible for processing the applications that come through to Startup Huddle St. Lucia, and she basically identifies whether they meet the criteria for persons to present. Anita, can you hear?
Okay, I'm here now, yes.
Okay,
I'm
awesome.
James. I'm basically the review team leader of Startup Huddle, just basically reviewing the applications of the people who want to present, see whether they meet the criteria of Startup Huddle so that they can present.
Okay, thank you so very much, Anita, for that contribution and for your intro. Okay, so I'm going to now quickly let you know who the presenters are and also who our expert panel is. But the best person to do that is our presenter recruitment leader, Michaela Charles Noel. She will introduce our expert panelist, who is a young gentleman, an expert in his field, and we thought he was the perfect person to basically be present at this ceremony. So Michaela, please go ahead and introduce our expert panel so that he can give us, a little bit about himself before we start with our presenters.
Okay, so good evening again, everybody, and I hope you are excited because I am. While this pandemic is closing the doors of businesses and forcing people to stay indoors, we are blessed to be here, well and alive, with the opportunity of virtually connecting with each other. We are indeed grateful to have here with us Robert Skeete, or as we would better know him as Chef Robbie, virtually sitting with us as our expert panelist. Robert credits his grandmother for his passion for culinary arts. He studied culinary arts in Bridgewater State College in Massachusetts, Johnson and Wales University, and the Culinary Institute of America. Chef Robbie has won awards for Chef of the Year, most creative chef, best use of local products, among others, all won right here in St. Lucia. Chef Robbie is now the owner of the famous Caribbean Pirates, established at La Place Carenage. He's here with us to share his expert advice with our presenters. Help me welcome Robert Skeete, better known as Chef Robbie. Chef Robbie, are you there?
Okay, let me go ahead and send him a private message in the chat. Michaela, in the meantime, can you go ahead and introduce our very first presenter, who happens to be the founder of Coco Love?
Our first presenter, Miss Sherrian. Just hold on a second. Huh? Yes, sorry about that. So our very first presenter, Miss Sherrian Saltibus-Edgar, resides at Cedars Castries, originally from the community of Alger. She's a mother of 2 energetic children and a wife of a genius. Sherrian loves nature, values family time, and she is first and foremost a chocolate lover, hence the pursuit of Coco Love. Prior to being a full-time entrepreneur, Sherrian worked at an international bank for 15 years. Sherrian is currently the founder and director of Coco Love. Without no further ado, turn your attention to Miss Sherrian Monrose, who will tell us more about Coco Love. Miss Sherrian.
Good afternoon, everyone. Thank you for that introduction, Michaela. Just a correction, I'm Sherrian Saltibus-Edgar, not Monrose. I would like you all to picture something. Photos of empty plates from a client's vehicle saying how they enjoyed the meal. Photos of how the cake is finishing too quickly. Placing orders for your next cake 1 year in advance after picking up a birthday cake for your celebration. And when a client is sending messages at 1 a.m. in the morning requesting a menu, you know you're doing something right. Join me as I give you my story. I am Sherrian Saltibus-Edgar, chocolatier and director of Coco Love. I will now start to share my screen with you as I go through my presentation. Okay. Initially, when I started, I found it difficult to access healthy, delicious takeout meals and desserts. And also when it was accessed, especially the vegan, the vegetarians, and the gluten-free options, they were not very appealing and they were not that tasty. And also my love for chocolates, authentic dark chocolate products, guilt-free desserts as well, they were just not accessible. When I started my business, I had to engage key stakeholders and partners like the wholesalers, Lazy Lagoon, CPJ, Trans-Caribbean, Massy Stores, and AdMac. They all had a part to play in being able to source our dark chocolate, which is one of our main raw materials in our products. Ministry of Health for assisting in getting my business licensed. Bureau of Standards for assisting in giving us standards for chocolate, and the food standards for certain products. SEDU for assisting in the registration of the business, and Healing Foods for partnering with me to get some of my products and the wood out there. My main clients comprise of many professionals, lawyers, doctors, accountants, health enthusiasts, tourists, connoisseurs, persons who enjoy a good piece of dark chocolate. Most of my clients are ladies and more mature persons, and they make up 90% of my clientele. Ladies tend to take care of themselves and their families more, so most of my clients are ladies. My products are wholesome, natural meals. They're decadent. The chocolate cakes are decadent and made with at least 56 to 70% of dark chocolate. They're also preservative-free. We are able to customize the meals and the desserts for vegans, vegetarians, gluten-free clients, and diabetics, and the healthy desserts make it a guilt-free option. And so that is why we exist. We are able to supply quinoa bowls, which are gluten-free, vegan burgers for those who do not do animal products, organic meals for those health enthusiasts who just want something organic and clean, dark chocolate cakes for the authentic experience of chocolate, the connoisseurs, the tourists, the vegan treats for those who really need that sweet treat, fruit baskets, gift baskets made with all authentic ingredients, natural. We also use seasonal and tropical ingredients in our cakes and desserts whenever possible, such as passion fruit, which is one of our main chocolates, the passion fruit chocolate. It is an item that is requested often. We reach our clients through email and WhatsApp subscribers list, and we ask for feedback, word of mouth feedback. We ask them how they feel about our product, and that is what is close to my heart. The feedback that I receive from them and how well my products are doing with them, how they taste. New customers, we connect with them via Facebook ads, Instagram posts. We also do pop-up tastings whenever it's allowed at certain shops. And we put little flyers in the meals when it is purchased from certain clients. Some of my clients, most of them are business professionals. However, I also have those who are corporate clients, and the corporate clients are where I do most of my bulk catering. The business professionals, they are the ones who need those healthy takeout meals on the go. They really don't have time to take care of themselves. And on Facebook, we're able to reach new clients when they subscribe and join. The daily broadcast lists are for clients who want those meals mostly every day, or if not every other day, and they want to know what we have available. So we're able to reach at least 200 persons on a daily basis when we do have those meal options available. I started the business through using much of my personal funds and assistance from family and friends. Most of it went into the startup costs, of course, registering and getting my business licensed. But due to the COVID challenges, there has been no income for the last month. And as such, we have had to change our operations and go more into manufacturing of prepackaged items. Those prepackaged items, we are currently testing it with our clients to see which ones suit them more so that they can have items in the freezers and they can have it prepared on their own without purchasing it from us, so as it will be a little cheaper for them. This will also assist us in keeping our employees employed so that they can support their families in return. I've been operating since 2017. I started with 10 clients, and after 3 years, I'm happy to say I have 100 repeat clients in 2020. I would like to increase my client base by 100% by 2022. I'm going to be able to do that through small community shops and getting my information through the gyms, health enthusiasts, persons who are willing to share my information. I take this time now to talk about the persons I have networked with. It was a pleasure doing the Taiwanese trade show. I was able to get new clients, international clients who needed my chocolates shipped to them abroad. Sandals Marketplace, Simone Christian, who invited me to display my products. That too also engaged 3 new clients from New York, England, and Canada who also needed cakes shipped abroad. Michelle for introducing me to Wiley, Professional Ladies Network, how I will be able to tap into their expertise and training programs so as to maybe be able to build capital to expand my business as I go more into the manufacturing process. Seydu, Jonathan Allen as my support and business development officer who gave me the training and support when I started the business. At this time, I would like to thank you all for listening and invite you to subscribe and share my business and information. I would be happy to share my information in the chat with you for future purposes. Thank you very much.
Okay, thank you so very much, Sherrian, for your presentation. You can stop sharing your screen now so that we can all see each other. And we now move on to the next part of this event where we have the Q&A. So, Robbie, are you back with us?
Yes, I am.
Okay, great. So
I was having some technical difficulties the first time around.
Oh, okay. Were you able to hear much of Sherrian's presentation?
Yes, I was able to hear the whole thing.
Okay, awesome. So this is your moment where you have your one-on-one with Sherrian, your Q&A. And then after a while, we will indicate to you as to when your time is up. And then we move to Q&A with the rest of the audience. So you can go ahead.
Okay. Okay. Hi, Sherrian.
Hi, Chef Robbie.
Sherrian, how are you doing?
Hi. I'm fine, thanks.
Okay. Did I purchase a kit from you once? I did some business. I purchased something from you once.
Yes, you did. Yes, you did.
Okay, I wasn't sure if it was the same person or not. When I saw the name and the face, I said, you look familiar. I'd start off by asking you. First of all, your presentation was really, really nice, very, very thorough. A lot of the questions I would have wanted to ask you, I think your presentation answered, the most of them. I had to step away for a second. I'm not sure if you mentioned whether or not how is it being financed, your budget. Tell me about your budget and how you're being financed, whether it's self-financing or the financial part of things, if I'm not being too nosy.
Well, Chef, I did not hear half of what you wanted to know. I only heard up to how am I financing my business? Did you say anything else after that?
That was the gist of it. I was just asking how you but pretty much that's the gist of the question. Okay, that's not being too nosy.
Okay, well, I was able to finance it with my savings. I started off small from my 1-bedroom apartment, and I gradually built my way up. I actually did a catering from one of my corporate clients that gave me to do 800 snack boxes, and that really did give me a boost from there. So I am most grateful for those who were there with me from the start, but most of it came from my savings and of course from family and friends.
Okay, so moving forward, I mean, I'm sure you'd like to maximize your potential. Do you intend to explore? You satisfied with status quo and you're going to stay at the size that you are right now, or with the clientele that you have right now? What's your ambition for the future?
Well, I've always wanted to have a storefront, but never really wanted to deal with clients sitting in an area eating in an eatery. But I have moved away from that, and yes, I do want to open a storefront, especially to showcase my talent as a chocolatier. So in that area, I have not given it much thought. However, for me to be able to expand, I would have to be able to tap into financial resources, and I'm hoping I can come up with a plan that would be able, I would be able to network with persons that can get me there.
Okay. I have a question for you. Who is your competition, and how does that affect you, or how does that what's your state of mind as to what your competition is like, or do you have any at all in your mind?
Well, my competitors, they are there. I take note of them. I mean, we have the vegan stores. Am I allowed to mention their names, Michelle? Do I mention their names?
That's fine. I think
Not necessary.
Oh, okay. Yeah, but you have the vegan restaurants. You have some of them in town, and you also have some that do the deliveries, the takeouts. Um, you have also the business in town. I forgot the name of it. I think it's Green Monkey or Blue Monkey, with similar products as myself. However, my clients, I make them aware of certain products that we use in our food, and this is why they gravitate towards me, because of the no soy, having gluten-free, and we take very special care of our gluten-free clients because of high sensitivities. So they are aware that these things are close to my heart, and that is why they gravitate towards me. So I am not particularly worried about the competition. I know it's there. I know what they offer, but I know what I also give to my clients.
Okay, cool. Worried about per se, but I mean you need to be aware of it, and competition is healthy sometimes. It's not healthy all the time. I would say, because competition helps you to up your game, helps you to gives you motivates you to to stand out amongst the rest of the crowd, and I'm very pleased and very impressed with where you started from. I remember dealing with you once when you first started, when I got that tiramisu from you, and where you are right now. How do you intend to use technology to push your business? I did hear you mention a few things, but I'm sure that you could use technology a lot more. And is there anything that you're not utilizing right now that you think you would need to utilize in the future?
Well,
do you have online ordering as yet?
Well, currently we don't have a website where you can actually do it easier, where you just see the product and you order it. It's currently in the startup phases. We are having it designed, and to have it linked with a financial institution, to have all of that linked with debit cards and credit cards. But for now, our online processing is to go through Facebook, Instagram. If there's something that you see and you like, you send us a message via email or WhatsApp, and then we can help customize the product to suit you.
Okay, you using Twitter?
No, I'm not using Twitter.
Okay. Who are your customers? I think you answered the question who your customers are already. How will you reach your customers? I think you've answered that pretty much. Okay. Where do you see yourself in the next 5 years, Sherrian?
I see myself with my chocolate shop. Everything chocolate, hopefully. I definitely want persons to experience authentic chocolate and not confectionery chocolate. It is a truly different experience. It is at my heart, and I have pictures of it on my vision board, and I'm hoping one day I will have that chocolate shop.
Okay. Your products and your ingredients, how much of it is local percentage wise in your local products, and your products that has to be outsourced? And
Well,
what
for
is
the
your?
chocolates and the bonbons,
Go ahead.
sorry.
Go
Okay.
ahead.
For the chocolates and the bonbons, I have to say that most of the chocolate blocks that I use are imported because we are unable to locate chocolate at an economical price per pound in the Caribbean that I can use in my chocolates, and something that the market will actually pay for it. For my meals, I am happy to say that they are at least 80 to 90% local ingredients. Some of them are actually 100% ingredients. I have featured some of them on my broadcast list where it's 100% local ingredients from the coconut oils, except the salt, but the coconut oils and the main raw ingredients, they were all from St. Lucia.
Okay, fantastic. Let me see. I think I had one more question there for you. Did I? Local chocolates. What do you? How much local chocolate do you actually utilize? And what in your opinion, what was the quality? Is the quality up to par with what you need to execute your products?
The chocolate available, well, I use mostly Belgium chocolate for now. It's easier for me to temper. It's easier to work with. It's also very versatile with the different island flavors that I like to incorporate in my chocolates, which are like the passion fruit. The passion fruit is the one that I have gotten the best reviews on. And I would say the St. Lucian chocolate, it is a good chocolate for fillings. I would use it for fillings, but I would not use it for my chocolate work. Where I need something very nice and shiny, I wouldn't use it. I would use them for flavorings, fillings, ganaches, and what have you. But it's a good chocolate. It's very flavorful. It has a fruity aftertaste. It is a very nice chocolate. But it's just that they are unable to supply me in bulk amounts and at an economical price per pound.
Sorry about that. I had a call in. Have you ever thought about having discussions with the chocolate producers in St. Lucia to be able to start producing in the quantities that you need? I said, have you ever thought about having discussions with the chocolate producers in St. Lucia and trying to get them to tweak their products to suit your purposes, and also to think about producing the quantities that you need so that you could claim that your products are 100% local, or your money that you spend is being kept in St. Lucia and not going out. Have you ever thought about having discussions with them, or have you done it, and what has been your response?
I don't want to mention names, but I have had discussions with two of the major producing chocolate makers in St. Lucia. Both seem to be through the Soufre side, and they have not been able to give me substantial responses in terms of whether I can get it in bulk, because every time I ask, they don't have a good supply, saying that they don't have enough cocoa beans to supply me with chocolate blocks. They need it for their own businesses. So they too also do chocolate products. So they need it for their own businesses. So they're not able to extend it in bulk for me. That is just my two experiences, which was a bit discouraging. However, I would love to have 100% St. Lucian. Well, not 100%, there's no 100% because you always need some other complementary ingredients. But I would love to have a local product, a local chocolate used in my product.
All right, fantastic. What would you say is your biggest, who's your biggest client, your biggest source of income, or your biggest clientele? Would it be small restaurants? Would it be hotels? Would it be private? Like, I think you sort of mentioned that it was, women were your biggest kind of clientele. But is that factual? Or, I mean, where do you make your most money from, or who?
The most money comes from my repeat clients, and they all fall within the category of professionals: lawyers, doctors, persons who have that spending power,
They have a
and who
disposable
want those
income.
high end. Yes, they want those high-end ingredients and the gourmet experience, and that is what they look forward to. These are the people who keep me in business.
Okay, fantastic. Well, I must say I'm very impressed with your efforts throughout the years and where you've taken yourself from where you were. And I wish you best of luck. My, if I had a little advice to you was, I would, say pursue your goals with, and don't let anything hold you back. I mean, as they say, the sky is the limit. I think you need to probably try to tackle the hotels a little more and restaurants like mine also. There are a lot of fine dining restaurants in St. Lucia, and I think that the product that you offer can be utilized by them. It would save them a lot of labor, a lot of laborious work that you could probably take care of for them, and you both can make a profit from it. The last question I'd like to ask you is, considering what we're going through right now with this COVID-19 thing, and what's hitting the world, and we're not in a normal environment anymore. How do you think this is going to affect you? How has it affected you? And how do you intend to, ride it?
Well, it has already affected me. I had to be closed for a month at minimum. My employees had to be sent home for that duration. However, I needed to get back on track, and I needed to think of ways that I could keep myself and my doors open, and also to have my employees still get a salary. And so what I have done is to tweak my offerings, and I am trying to get into the supermarkets or the retail outlets where I can produce a product that can be finished off at home, such as the vegan burgers. We're hoping to have them done frozen, falafels frozen, so that clients can finish it off at home, and it's more economical for them to purchase as opposed to getting a fully finished product from us. So in order to keep my employees here, I had to think of other products that I can offer. And I have so far approached CPJ, Trans-Caribbean. I am yet to connect with AdMac on that. But these are the persons who offer vegan and gourmet cuisine. So that is the direction I'm going in temporarily until we get back on track. My clients have advised that yes, their income has been reduced slightly because they've had to close their doors for short periods of time as well. But they still seem to be ordering. I mean, I had a Mother's Day promotion on Sunday, and I can only describe how the support was. It was immense. I had clients calling asking for food because they really needed that food, and I did not have enough to supply. So I mean, I am so grateful for them. It is the repeat clients that kept me alive on Sunday. The way they ordered by 14 meals per family, 15 meals per family, that is what actually kept me going.
Okay, fantastic. And where do you operate from right now, and how big is your establishment?
I currently have my commercial kitchen downstairs my home. It's licensed. It can accommodate up to 4 workers. I have a pastry room and a kitchen. We're able to operate and give at least 100 takeout meals per day.
Okay, fabulous. All right, young lady, it was a pleasure talking to you. I wish you all the success. You seem to be on the right track. Give and take a few little places you can tweak to improve. Like I said, I think you need to attack the hotels and the fine dining restaurants as much as you can, besides attacking the the AdMax and the Trans-Caribbeans and these places. One more Coco fills the basket, so you can't let anybody go by. to potential is what I'm looking to say. By trying to, get to all avenues and spread yourself that way. Okay, I'm not asking you to spread yourself thin. Do what you can handle, but always, think about expanding, because that's where you're going to maximize your potential. Okay.
Yes, thank you very much.
Okay, thank
All right.
you very
Nice
much.
chatting with you.
Thank you so very much, Robbie and Sherrian. Now, at this point in time, we are going to go into our Q&A with the rest of our listening and viewing audience. So, persons who are right now with us, this is your opportunity to activate your videos, because we need to see everybody. I will be doing, snapshots as I drag the screen along, so we can, get a full view of you all. And when you want to, of course, ask your question, you raise your hand, and then I will, of course, call out your name so that you can unmute yourself and ask your question. When you're asking your questions, please introduce yourself and then go ahead with your question. Okay, so we have a first hand up, Anita. Anita, go ahead and ask your question.
Thank you, Michelle. Thank you, Sherrian. I enjoyed your presentation. And thank you to Robbie as well for your question. Hi, Robbie. So,
hi, darling.
Yeah. Sherrian, tell me, do you do this enterprise full time?
Yes, I do. It is my job.
Oh, that's your full-time job. And secondly,
Yes.
what challenges do you currently face? What challenges do you face?
Thank you very much.
Mention any challenges.
Well, because I'm in a niche market, it is a bit difficult to connect with that type of market. Most times the clients are the ones who refer their friends, and most times you find doctors know doctors, lawyers know lawyers, and that is how the word gets around. But I am still, my clientele in that area, I still consider it small, and I really want to expand in that area.
Okay, wonderful. Thank you very much.
Okay, awesome. Thank you so very much.
Sherrian, in case you didn't know, doctors, lawyers, and all those different fraternities, they all have huge mailing lists. For example, all the lawyers on the bar association, whoever is the president, can furnish you with the list of all lawyers in bar. Something you could look into, getting the mailing list from whoever it is that you can, whether it be for the lawyers, whether it be for the doctors and the different professionals in St. Lucia. Okay?
Okay, thank you. I've taken note of that.
All right.
Thank you very much.
Okay, awesome. We have a hand up from Isaiah. Go ahead with your question.
Good afternoon, everyone. Sherrian, I just had to piggyback on what was mentioned by Robbie about those in the different fraternities knowing each other. One suggestion is maybe you could link up with somebody that you already know and find out when they are having, when all of this COVID stuff is down, having their meetings. So sometimes they would have lawyers association meetings, the bar association, the larger meetings, so that you could come in and probably give out samples of your stuff. Look at it as a marketing expense. So you come in, you go to that meeting, you bring out samples of their stuff, so that you'd be able to get feedback from them.
Thank you very much. I never thought of that one. Thank you, Isaiah.
Yeah, you see, it's kind of like to use a real world example. All of us are on Facebook, and none of us are paid for it. It's called freemium. So what they do is they basically give out something free to kind of hook you in. So the more you do that to the right people in an occasion where they're all together, once one person at that particular event taste yourself, says, "Oh, that's nice," is the perfect form of advertising to the other person that you want to reach at that particular event. So it's better than putting it on the news or something like that. Yeah.
Thank you
Yeah.
very much. I
Good idea.
appreciate that.
Okay, awesome. Any more questions from anybody? For Sherrian? Anyone?
Sherrian, one thing when you do intend to get your shop front, make sure you take into consideration location and do a proper study of feasibility studies, and do the pop-up tastings that you say you've been doing. It's a great idea. Go somewhere where there's a lot of people, whether it be at the Baywalk Mall, somewhere where there's a lot of traffic. Like the young man just suggested, when people are having their meetings, for example, whenever the taxi drivers are having their meetings, I go there and make proposals to them, make offers to them as to, if they drive business to my place, what I can possibly do for them. So you can do a lot of that sort of thing. Find out where, like the young man just suggested, Isaiah just suggested, to find anywhere there are mass group congregations of people, to especially people with a disposable income, to try to tap into them. Okay.
Yes. Okay.
Okay, awesome. We have a question from Lisa.
Hi, Sherrian. I was listening to your pitch, and one of the things you mentioned that caught my attention was the fact that you do gluten-free meals. My daughter, sometimes she cannot take in gluten products all the time, but she does often because of the lack of those products being available, or actually it's more expensive than usual. As an entrepreneur, do you prepare meals or probably give food suggestions to parents that may have challenges with children with allergies?
Certainly, I have tried out a lot of the products on myself. Clients have given me feedback from when they use the products. Those with extreme sensitivities. I've had one client who I was basically in tears because she kept saying, "We cannot eat anything outside. I have to prepare everything myself." And she came to me for a birthday cake, and she was so particular, questioning me about all different aspects of my baking and what I do to prevent sensitivities. And I had to ensure that that cake didn't affect that client at all. And I was so happy when she called me and she said, he did not have any reactions to the cake. That was one of his first birthday cakes purchased outside of the home.
Okay.
So I was very happy about that. And I also gave her some tips on what can be done to avoid those kind of sensitivities. So yes, I do assist my clients by giving them some tips, and anyone who needs it. I don't hide it.
Okay, so do you do like probably have, okay, as Isaiah said, okay, Facebook give us free advertising. Do you what's about if you have like small videos where you can prepare probably a basic meal for a parent who's not even aware, or healthy breakfast or healthy lunch or dinner for parents who are not even aware that that may have been the only solution to a problem that they were trying to handle for a long time?
I have never thought about it, Lisa, but now that you're mentioning it, I can put it on my to-do list. If it is something that persons would be able to connect with me, it is definitely something I can look into.
I think they would. I think they would. A little video. It may not be some of full scale, but basic little stuff for preparations for parents. Basic little ones. How to
Okay,
start off and what to do.
I'll take that into consideration, Lisa.
All right.
Thank you for that.
Thank you.
Okay, thank you, Lisa. Our next
Lisa, why is she, without cutting it short, while she's on that, something that I did a long time ago for kids, because I walked into a supermarket once and saw a lady spending a little $60 buying stuff for her school, for her daughter to take to school, for her lunch kit. and I was appalled because buying Twinkies and the peanut butter crackers and really junk stuff, and the chubby juices and stuff like that, where people and she could utilize that same money and get so much healthy stuff and get a much larger quantity to go along the way.
Correct.
Something that's interesting that she just mentioned, I think you could probably look into healthy lunch kit ideas for kids with, I guess, who have problems with gluten, or kids who are diabetic and things of that nature. I have done it. I'm just overwhelmed with so many things that I have to do right now that I sort of scale back on doing it. But it's a direction that you can think about going into that can bring in a pretty penny. There are a lot of kids out there with challenges, not just kids, but adults also with health challenges, and they're always looking for healthy options. And I'm sure you can come up with a lot of little healthy ideas for packing for lunch kits for kids who have challenges, whether it be diabetes or whether it be eating gluten free and that sort of thing. Something you could just give some thoughts to as you're going through your challenges and venturing through maximizing your potential in your business. Okay.
Hi.
Okay.
Just to add something to what Robbie said. Oh well, Diatra has a hand raise.
Yes, go ahead, Isaiah.
Okay. So something I learned when I worked at Sandals. I was in sales at Sandals Resorts. Used to sell their resorts. And I'll give you a specific story that goes on with the food thing that you're doing. And in one of the resorts in Sandals, Jamaica, they had a child who was lactose intolerant, and the child had never had ice cream. It's a 7-year-old boy, right? So one of the chefs at that Sandals resort made him ice cream that he could actually have, and he had ice cream for the first time in his life, and he was crying and everything, right? That story is a situation that actually happened. I would use that story to sell the Sandals resorts, because people buy not just your product, but they buy the emotional experience attached with your product. So I'm saying this to tell you this: you have a perfect selling tool right in your hands already. Remember the case you had with the person that was having issues with getting you just said it, with the food and stuff like that?
Yes, for the birthday cake.
Right. Take that actual example, because people believe situations more than they believe statistics. Okay? So you take that actual example and you write a story around that example. Maybe you do a short video and you put that in you incorporate that into the pitch for your product and your service. So for example, you go to a particular event, you go to a business person, a business owner, right? Or some lawyers and doctors, which well of people. These people get people to speak to them, to try to sell them stuff all the time. But a story like that, they remember. So you incorporate that actual experience, that actual customer's positive experience into everything that you do when you market your business. Because what they will do, they will associate that good experience with your brand. Okay?
Okay.
So to tie that up, Nike, the brand Nike, right? When the company really blew up is when they added Michael Jordan as one of their brand ambassadors. And they had a slogan, to be like Mike. I'm old enough to remember that. And what it did is that all those kids who were watching basketball, like myself, who wanted to be like him, associated the shoes with him. It's the emotion behind the thing. Okay? That's my 2 cents.
Okay, thank you.
I get where you're going with that, Isaiah. So I understand that I'm actually using the emotion behind the selling the product to the clients to market myself. So I understand what you're saying. Thank you for that.
Okay, thank you, all of you. In the interest of time, we have only one more question, and that's going to come from one of our members, Renata.
So, Sherrian, having shared your story with us, having shared your wonderful journey with Coco Love with us, we asked the question, what can we do as a community to assist you in the furtherance of your business, especially in these, well, I should say, trying times?
Well, one of my main goals is to increase my client base. So I would really appreciate that my professional ladies and fellow peers share my information as much as possible and talk about me and let persons know what it is that I offer so that I can increase my client base. You may not purchase from me directly, but I'm sure you have many contacts that may know somebody else or may purchase from me directly. So I would appreciate sharing the information with your friends and your family and let them know about me so that I can reach my goal of increasing my client base.
Thanks for sharing that with me, Sherrian. What you may not be aware of is I am actually a marketing specialist, and I do see the gap where you can fill in terms of your marketing and reaching your target market, reaching even new clients. So we can speak anytime. We could speak after this event, and let's see how we could make things happen.
Thank you, Ronetta.
Okay, awesome. What a wonderful way to kind of wrap things up. Okay.
I have one question.
Oh,
Just one.
you came a little late to the party, Malika.
I was there all along listening. Don't worry about that. First of all, I just want to tell Sherrian you did an awesome job.
Thank you, Malika.
Since you said you're located in Cedars, do your customers come to you or is it delivery?
Some of them come to me and some of them request delivery.
Like majority on a scale, which one would you say is most?
There seems to be almost like a balance, but I can tell you the delivery is a little bit hectic on me, seeing that I'm the only driver, and I have to be in my kitchen at the same time. So I have had to network with other persons who have businesses that can do deliveries for me part-time.
Okay then, all right then. Good job.
All right, so thank you so very
Yeah,
much.
I think your Marcelina's video was not up, eh?
Sorry?
I said the young lady who just spoke, the video was not up.
Oh.
Yeah, no, so we couldn't see who she was. So ladies and gentlemen, can you please enable your videos? That was one of the requirements for the event because we need to see who you are, who we're interacting with. And again, I'm going to be taking snapshots, at various intervals, and I can't take snapshots of names. I need to see faces, right? So let us see who you are so that we can know who we're interacting with, okay? All right, so we are now into our mid section of the event, and at this time, I just wanted to state to you a couple of announcements. Okay, so with regards to Dream to Reality Professional Business Training course, which Sherrian is one of the very first one of 31 graduates of this course. We are going to be opening up our application process to the second cohort, and applications open tomorrow. So those of you who know persons who would like to apply to this course, those of you who have persons that you know may benefit from it and who may not have heard about it, please share this information with them that the Dream to Reality Professional Business Training course, the application process for the second cohort opens up May 14th. And you can go to the Facebook page to sign up from there. I will also be posting the link in the chat. So please take a look at it there. Sherrian, you said that your call to action was that you wanted us to share. So please share either your virtual business card with us or your link for your contact information so that we can go ahead, take that information down and share it for you. All right, so I'm going to pass the baton over to Michaela so she can introduce our second presenter for this evening. Michaela?
Hello again, everybody. The next presenter, Ms. Wendy Monrose, resides at Tiroshenko. She's a mother of two beautiful children, Desiree, 22 years, and Demi, 17. I hope I said that right. And she would also like you to know she has an adorable pet named Dino. She's a university graduate in the area of sociology and social work. She has over 15 years experience as a teacher in St. Lucia. Currently, she is an entrepreneur and the owner of Dee-licious Cheesecakes. Without no further ado, turn your attention to Miss Wendy Monrose as she shares with us what Dee-licious Cheesecakes is all about. Wendy?
Good evening, everyone. Thank you, Michaela, for introducing me. Let me just try to share my screen. Just give me a minute. Let me try to share my screen.
Did something go wrong?
I'm trying to share my screen and it's not allowing me to do so. So I'm trying. Michelle, can you give me any assistance, please? Because it's not allowing me to do so.
When you click at the bottom, when it says share screen and
okay, I got it. I
right.
think I got it. Yes, I'm okay.
There we go.
I got it. Thank you so much, Michelle.
Okay, no problem.
All right. Okay. Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Wendy Monrose, owner of Dee-licious Cheesecakes, and I would love to engage you on a cheesecake journey. Imagine you, the cheesecake lover, unable to put one cheesecake dessert shop in St. Lucia that can satisfy your cheesecake cravings. And to make it worse, imagine you spending your last earned dollar, or rather hard-earned dollar, to purchase a product, and you are only met with disappointment and immense disgust. These are some of the challenges of cheesecake lovers in St. Lucia. And I'm sure you will agree with me that everyone loves to get value for their hard-earned dollar. As a cheesecake lover, we love to savor some real cheesecake. Wouldn't you just love to be able to have a lingering, awesome goodness sense of cheesecake? You know what? I've got you. You, the cheesecake lover, I've got you. Dee-licious Cheesecakes is the establishment that produces wholesome, delicious, delectable, tasty cheesecake, and is committed to providing an unparalleled cheesecake experience that leaves you, my valued customer, totally satisfied. Why choose Dee-licious Cheesecakes? What it is about Dee-licious Cheesecakes that would stand out? Dee-licious Cheesecakes offers a creamy, flavorful, tasty cheesecake experience, competitively priced and flavored and packaged to suit the individual mood and request of each customer. The focus here is to engage you in a cheesecake experience. And this is why we would meet the individual mood and request of each customer. Looks like my video that I had here is not coming up, so we're proceeding. I'll show it to you after. In the 2 years that have existed, Dee-licious Cheese has established its presence on Facebook and Instagram. Our more recent statistics as of May 5th to the 11th indicated that we reached approximately 1,980 persons on Facebook, 577 persons engaged in our posts, and at the moment, we have a following of over 500 persons. How do we know that persons are enjoying the cheesecake experience that Dee-licious Cheesecakes offers? First and foremost, from our customer satisfaction surveys. We have been able to find out that persons are really enjoying that experience, and they love that the product that they are getting is value for their money. Another thing that warms us up is that Dee-licious Cheesecakes are noticing that over 50% of the existing customers are repeat customers. Why are they coming back? And they're coming back to order as many as over 3 times. They're coming because they have enjoyed what they've received, and they're seeking an opportunity to be further in touch with that cheesecake experience. One of the other things that warms us up is that we have new customers. And you may be wondering, why am I saying it warms me? Because of those new customers, the greater percentage are customers who are coming because of the reviews that have been presented by my repeat customers. And what are they saying? They're saying that they received such wonderful reviews, that the taste of the cheesecake was like no other. It was so creamy. It was so delectable that they too would like to experience this. Out of my personal love for cheesecake, coupled with a vested passion to want to enable other cheesecake lovers to experience a true and real cheesecake experience, I began the business from my personal savings. However, borrowing from Helen Keller, that alone we can do little, but together we can do much, I have seen the need to engage in networking with other institutions. And so in the future, I intend to engage in discussion with a financial institution and a more recent initiative, the Entrepreneurship Institution for the Business Susu, so as to gain more capital, which would allow me to expand the offerings that I have and to be able to allow more persons to participate in the cheesecake experience. Dee-licious Cheesecake has a vision. And in the next 2 to 3 years, Dee-licious Cheesecakes would like to increase the social media presence. Why do we want to do that? Because we want to allow more persons across St. Lucia and even in a region and internationally to be able to access this cheesecake experience. Additionally, we would like to introduce new products, one of which is the vegan cheesecake. This experience is so rich. It is one of a lifetime experience that it is necessary that we allow our target markets to increase so that more persons can participate in this awesome journey. And one of the other visions that we have is that we would transition from our existing startup location, which is a home-based location, to having an exclusive cheesecake kitchen. I'm sure you can imagine what's going to happen as a result of this. More production would exist, and as a consequence, more persons will be participating in this experience. Being an entrepreneur, it has exposed me to networking with other institutions like the Y-Line Network, the Global Network, Entrepreneurship Network, and the Dream to Reality Professional Ladies Network. All of these institutions have allowed me to gain more skills as an entrepreneur. I have received mentoring, which is needed in allowing me to augment my capacity as an entrepreneur and to be able to deliver even more awesome goodness to my valued customers. I could go on and on this journey, but in the interest of time, I'm going to pause this journey. But I want you to remember, Dee-licious Cheesecakes, we don't just deliver a product, we deliver the ultimate cheesecake experience. I thank you.
Wow, congratulations there on that presentation, Wendy. Okay, so
can I just say one thing?
Yes, go ahead.
I don't know what happened. I really wanted to show my little video that was inserted here because you need to see the awesome goodness. I don't know. I don't know if I could probably show it outside of the PowerPoint. Would you allow that?
Well, we can do that after if we have time for Q&A.
Okay, that's fine.
Okay, awesome. All right, so at this time, thank you so much for your presentation, Wendy. Very well done. I am now going to open the floor to Mr. Robbie to have his one-on-one with Wendy.
Hi, Wendy. How you doing?
I am doing well, thank you. How are you?
Not bad at all. I'm seeing a still picture of you. You don't seem
everybody needs to have videos enabled. Everyone.
I'm sorry. Yes, I'm here now.
Yeah. Okay. Great. Okay. Very good presentation. You seem like you did a little rehearsing on that. It was excellent. Very dynamic. Very dynamic. Very animated, and you seem to be a very energetic young lady. Hopefully the same passion goes into your cheesecake making and your marketing and everything that you need to do to make yourself successful. A few questions. I guess I'll be asking some of the same questions I asked the other presenter. Your budget, your present budget. How do you intend to finance yourself, or how are you financing yourself presently?
Okay. So I'm sorry. Okay.
Go ahead.
Okay. So as I indicated, I began from my personal savings because I've had this passion to be an entrepreneur for a long time. So I began there. I have accessed small business loans from a financial institution. However, I am also seeking the possibilities because I have been doing a bit of research of perhaps grants, for example, because my ultimate dream is to expand this cheesecake experience such that it would be one that becomes a household name in St. Lucia. And so I would have to do a bit more investing. I also need to comment that at the beginning, I got assistance from family and friends in terms of investing.
Okay. All right. So in light of what you're doing, who would you say is your competition?
Okay, at the moment, my competition is restaurants existing in the south of the island who offer cheesecake as well, and some of them offer takeaway for persons who don't want to come in to eat, you just want to get a dessert. I am aware of these. I am also aware of another individual who is operating a small cheesecake business. And I also have the supermarket, Macy's, offers cheesecake as well. So that's also a competitor.
Okay. And how do you feel about that? Does that worry you? Do you think it's taking a big chunk of your possible clientele or markets, and how do you intend to compete or to, be heads up above them in any way whatsoever?
Okay.
In what way do you intend to make yourself different?
Okay. I love the fact that there is competition, because the fact that there is competition tells me that I cannot sleep at all. I have to be busy, I have to be seeking out new ideas, etc. But one of the ways that I have been able to stand out is that, one, from the feedback that I receive from my customers, they speak of the texture of my cheesecake. So while I don't divulge what the secret is, I am recognizing that they are aware that there is an acute difference between what I offer and what the competition offers. Additionally, I have been able to introduce the use of local fruits as a topping. And this is also something that I know my competitors have not been able to do. So for example, last Christmas, I was able to utilize sorrel as a topping for cheesecakes. And I was pleasantly surprised at how many persons warmed up to it, and even after the season asked for it. And this I gained from networking with ladies as well, who said to me that you need to be able to use what you have. In the summer of last year, I was able to make topping from mangoes. And as a result, I was able to share with persons the possibility that you don't only have cheesecake with strawberries or with cherries, but you could have your own local fruits to serve as topping. So this helps me create new ideas to present my cheesecake, which is a little different from what the competitor offers.
Okay, very good. My next question was going to be, how much local products do you utilize in your cheesecake making? If you could, I know you said you suggested that you use mango, and that's just skimming the surface. So approximately how many local fruits do you actually use in for your cheesecake toppings? Also, what if you could rattle out the variety of cheesecake flavors that you execute presently? Because
Okay.
I have a few ideas on cheesecake, because I used to be the coach of the national culinary team, and there used to be a cheesecake competition that took place in Taste of the Caribbean competition, and we won gold with a very interesting cheesecake. And I was kind of curious as to what are some of the mix and matches that you do utilizing local fruits and local flavors. Sorrel was nice. We've done a sorrel glaze on it. Has been pretty common in some of the hotels. They seem to utilize a lot of sorrel. So what's different about you, and how wide a variety of local products do you use for flavor in the cheesecake and for the toppings?
Okay, so the locals that I have used flavoring and toppings, passion fruit. I have mango. I have used pineapple as well. That would be, and that would be the local one used. Other than that, I have mixed and matched with imported ingredients. For example, the Oreo cheesecake, the strawberry filling, the cherry filling, flavored fillings. But the local ones I have. In fact, I would welcome yes from you.
Okay. I'll be honest with you, those that you have mentioned are pretty cliche, and they've been done over and over and over. I mean, the hotels and the other places that do cheesecake, passion fruit is common. You know, the glaze, as a flavoring. The mango topping has been used, the banana, but I'm thinking that you need to, to stand out above the rest. You need to get out of your cocoon and think outside the box. For example, the cheesecake that won gold medal in Taste of the Caribbean, which was kind of my idea, was a Bois cheesecake, which is bay leaf. The flavor of the cheesecake was bay leaf. You know how nice a bay leaf tea tastes?
Of course.
So the cheesecake was bay leaf, and the topping was zabuiko, apricot, which was another idea of mine. And that won her gold medal. It won a trip to Italy. It put her in the Hall of Fame.
Okay.
So I need you to think of, for your cheesecakes, really, really thinking out the box, and go into flavors like the nutmeg, the cinnamon, for the actual flavors of the cheesecakes, and the toppings, going out of the box with apricot. I mean, apricot jam was something that was traditional growing up with the old folks, and nobody makes that we call jam anymore. And whenever you've made it?
No, I said I have not heard of it.
You know our local apricot zabuiko?
Of course, I know it, and I'm thinking that another
name for it is Mommy Apple.
That's right.
Right, and it's an excellent topping for a cheesecake. So you need to look into that. So I would say you need to think of some interesting different flavors for your cheesecake, and some some interesting toppings of all our local fruits whether it be sapodilla, apricots, pomdilin as a glaze. Pomdilin is very similar to passion fruit.
Yes.
It has a unique flavor. Another flavor that's extremely, extremely pungent and interesting is hog plum. Nobody uses hog plums when they're in season anymore. I mean, a handful of hog plum can give you a gallon of juice. You reduce that down to a glaze for a passion fruit, or even for the flavor, reduce it down to a syrup to glaze your passion fruit, or if you decide to use it as the flavoring for the actual passion fruit and for the glaze also, or using hog plum glaze for different flavors of plain cheesecake that you're doing and that sort of thing. So you need for your cheesecakes. I mean, cheesecakes are pretty much what people do with cheesecakes are very mundane, I find, and they stick to the typical toppings all the time. You need to go out of the box a bit, okay? So for starters, you need to give that Boisden cheesecake a try and Zaprico topping, because it was a gold medal winner, and what I did, something that I pushed a lot when the team came back from Miami, whatever won gold, I always try to get the hotels to put it on the menu and utilize it. And, you know, and offer it as a gold medal winner to the tourists, to the locals and whatnot, you know, so that we can see how our local products can be utilized without messing around with imported goods. Soursop as a glaze is extremely lovely. When you take soursop juice very thick and you reduce it to a syrup, it turns burgundy, and the flavor is unique. It gets away from the soursop flavor a bit and adopts a new flavor completely. So you need to start. You know, you can have a chat with me sometime and come and sit down, and I can brainstorm with you and give you a lot of interesting ideas for cheesecakes, and so that people start, you know, being wowed by different flavors instead of the typical flavors that are being played with. Okay.
I appreciate that. Thank you so much.
All right.
Okay.
Thank you so very much. Sorry to
I'm not
interrupt.
done yet.
Well, time is kind of really running out for the event. And we have to leave time for at least 3 of our audience members to ask questions. So I'm going to allow only 3 members of the audience to ask questions because our time is quickly running out.
All right, no problem. She got shortchanged then.
Thank you so very much.
I'm saying that she got shortchanged.
Well, unfortunately, because of the length of our event,
time constraints,
usually, you know, this long.
Okay.
Yeah.
Not a problem.
Okay, thank you
All
so
right,
much.
then, young lady. Good luck with your cheesecake venture, and hopefully, when I chat with you, I can, you know, brainstorm with you and give you some interesting ideas and a little more direction.
Okay, I will get your contact from Michelle.
No problem. That's very easy.
Thank you. All right.
Awesome. All right. So we have 3 questions. We have time for only 3 questions. I'm going to take the raised hands. So I will take question from Michaela, from Lisa, and from Andrea. So these are the 3 questions that we're going to take. So Michaela, your hand was up first. Go ahead with your question.
Okay. Hi, Wendy.
Hi, Mike.
Very, very interesting. I do not eat cheesecake. Now, my question for you is, I think what I don't like in the cheesecake is the cream cheese. But so, and I heard you talk about the vegan. You're thinking of doing some type of vegan cheesecake. What would be the replacement for that cream cheese?
Okay, for the vegan cheesecake, while I'm still in the initial stages of research, I realized that tofu would be the replacement for the cream cheese.
Okay, well, what I can say is that when you have that up and going, I would like to taste it to see if I will eat cheesecake.
Not a problem. Oh, you will enjoy it.
Okay.
Thank you for your question, Michaela. Let's go ahead to Lisa.
Hi. I just wanted to, it was getting really interesting with what Chef Robbie was saying to Wendy. I'm just hoping that because it kind of seems like, you know, she's being shortchanged on the advice, that, you know, she really gets to sit down with Robbie. He was really giving some advice that I think is so much more useful than what I could say or anybody else, because, you know, like, yeah, that's what she needs at this point, you know. So I mean, kudos to the whole organization and what's going on, but like, we needed to have that coach with the client right there, and like, I was learning myself, and I so wanted it to continue. So I'm hoping, like, in the future, that the times are kind of leveled out and balanced, so that the coaches really get to give their stuff to the people who need it. Yeah, that's my comment. But thank you so much. Like, this is absolutely wonderful. Hi, Chef Robbie.
Thank you, Lisa.
Okay, Lisa, thank you so much for your contribution. In actual fact, what we do is that we initiate the connection, but then if there's anything more in depth that the expert panel has to connect with the presenter, then they meet outside of the event. So that's normally how things go, because everything has to be timed, because this is such an event that is time constrained. For that reason, that's kind of how we had to like cut it short for this particular event, but it doesn't mean that Wendy will not be able to connect with Chef Robbie again outside of the event. Okay. Okay, so our last question from Andrea.
Hi everyone, good evening. From Jamaica. So I follow Wendy and her cheesecake journey, and it's awesome. Just a suggestion for you, and also a question. I don't know if in St. Lucia you have jackfruit.
Andrea, we're having trouble hearing you. There's an issue with your connection.
In terms of
Andrea, can you hear
toppings.
me?
Well, here in Jamaica we have jackfruit, and it's very tasty. And so if you have that, are you hearing me better now?
Okay,
yes, I'm hearing you
better now. Okay, can you repeat your question? Sorry. We seem to be having some connectivity issues with Andrea. Andrea, can you please type
in terms of variety?
Andrea, we lost you there for the majority of what you were saying. Can you also type in your question in the chat? So if in case we lose you at any point in time, we can just read out your question so that we don't lose you completely. Because there was some
actually okay.
There.
Let me. Okay, so the question, Wendy, quickly is: do you have any plans to export? Because we'd love to benefit from your cheesecake here in Jamaica. Because as I follow you, and oftentimes I've ordered from you just for the fun of it, but I'd really, really love to partake of it.
Okay, so I have not formalized my export as yet. I will admit I have done some sales internationally and regionally, but this is an area that I have in mind to work on in the next 2 to 3, well, not even 2 to 3 years, in the coming months, to be able to ensure that I have this option to be able to reach a wider cross section. So I do take your question and suggestion. I appreciate it.
Okay, I'm waiting patiently. Thank you, and thanks for this awesome event. And I don't know if that dream to reality is offered outside of St. Lucia, but I'll certainly love to be a part of it if it is that it is offered outside of St. Lucia.
Oh yes.
Okay, thank you so very much for your question, Andrea. And just to give you a response to your question, yes, it is available in Jamaica. It's just not called the same. I could actually provide you with the link to it. I can provide you the link to it in the chat so that you can have a look at what it is. It's recently started in Jamaica, I think, at the beginning of this year, I believe it started, or late last year. I can't remember exactly when, but Jamaica was a recent addition to this sort of franchise that's really going on around. But in terms of St. Lucia, this was the introduction for St. Lucians to this particular type of course. So thank you again for your contribution, Andrea. And since we cannot take any more questions, I really apologize for that. I would just like to ask this question to you, Wendy, which is very similar to what Ronetta asked the first presenter. What can we as a community do to help you?
Okay, and first I want to thank you that you've already been doing what it is, which is to propel me into further action. So I thank you for that. But I would like to use you to help market my business even more. And so I know that you have contacts that I don't know, So I would like to network with you and the entire community to help share the word around, especially as when all this COVID is done, I want to do a little more work on reaching the north of the island, because I have had some customers there, but I need to work a little more on getting into that target area. So I would like to use you to enable me to get that done.
Okay, so when you say you, are you referring to the team Startup Huddle St. Lucia, or are you referring to me personally?
Okay, so I'm talking several yous in my you. I'm talking you, I'm talking Startup Huddle, I'm talking the network, the group, the women that I have met from the dream to reality. So I'm using all of these new contacts that I have got over the last 7 weeks to be able to build up my support network and to be able to increase my client base.
Okay, great. Point taken. Thank you so very much, Wendy. I just want to read out quickly a couple of the text messages that were being posted in the chat, so I don't leave out anybody. So Michaela says, since I can't ask, I'll test. So I'm a lover of cheesecake, and I agree with Rob that the flavors are played out also to actually see a cheesecake, what it looks like a real birthday cake. Wendy, your presentation was very informative, and she felt your passion. And from Gina here, she says, I have had a taste of Wendy's, and I can tell you that this has been the best I've had so far.
And I just want to say that Gina is in New York, so that's to tell you.
Wow. Gina, welcome. Welcome to the event. Thank you for joining to show your support for your supplier of cheesecake. Thank you, Gina, for joining us. Priya says, Wendy, your presentation was wonderful. I'm waiting for your vegan cheesecake. Okay. Tiffany says, great presentation, Wendy. I would like cheesecake now. It's my favorite thing on the planet Earth. So I guess above all food, cheesecake is at the top for Tiffany. So Michaela also states her two favorite chocolate and cheesecake. No, that's liquor. So she says her two favorite desserts are chocolate and cheesecake. So looking forward to you actually opening up a shop. Remember, my liquor.
Right.
Right. She said she remembers she was pregnant and drove all the way up north and went home just buying frozen chocolate cake. My goodness, what a craving. Yeah, so this is the type of feedback. Keisha says, great presentation, ladies, and that she's referring to both of you. Yeah, so Lisa says, Wendy, please connect with Sheb Robbie. Yes, I highly recommend. This is what we also implore our presenters to do, to stay in connection with their expert panel so that they can receive that further coaching that goes beyond the event. So she says, you need to take this further and bigger. Also to Coco Love, you seem to know your stuff. Keep going. So Sherrian, that is to you. And of course, Marvin says, all this food and cake talk has him hungry. He looks forward to trying everything these ladies have to offer. So Coco Love, Sherrian, and Wendy of Dee-licious Cheesecakes, you have some new customers that you have just now come on board with. Okay, so Michaela, you have your hand raised, so I'm going to allow you to say your very last word before we kind of close up.
Oh, well, I just wanted to take the opportunity to thank our expert panelists. I think the few presentations that I have attended, that kudos to you. I know him. I don't think he remembers me, but I know him, and he did a very, very great job. And just like Lisa was expecting, we wanted to get all of the questions. The conversation, the interaction was wonderful. And so, Mr. Chef Robbie, if you are up for it, we would like to ask you, I don't know if you have expert advice in other areas, in other industries, but if you have expert advice in other industries, but we would really love to have you again on our at our events as an expert panelist.
Okay, no problem. The pleasure is mine. I'm always happy to help young people to, you know, to express their life, to springboard into bigger and better things. It's something that I do. I presently train young people at my restaurant every 2 months in the apprenticeship program for the last 8 years, and gives me a lot of gratification. Yes, I have other expertise also, which we could always discuss about in person sometime. And I'm always available at my restaurant. I'm self-employed, so I'm very flexible. So having meetings and audiences with me comes really easy. You just walk in and I accommodate anybody. Okay?
Great, awesome.
All right then.
Okay, awesome. So we have now come to the end of our event, but before we close, I would like to just give one more announcement. And this announcement is with regards to the Entrepreneurship World Cup. And this is the biggest pitch competition in the world. It is hosted by the Global Entrepreneurship Network, or GEN. Some of you have already heard of GEN from our previous Startup Huddle events and also from various promotions that we've had, and also the ladies from the course, they would have heard about GEN as well. So the Global Entrepreneurship Network has created the Entrepreneurship World Cup for entrepreneurs in all stages of business in any industry, inclusive of the creative industry. It's open to all age groups as well, particularly in the idea stage. So if you have an innovation, an invention, a social enterprise, a venture, a business, anything that basically makes an impact on your environment or the world or your community, you are eligible. So just to let you know that Entrepreneurship World Cup St. Lucia, we have a branch of it here, and the nationals are going to be held in July of 2020. So in terms of the applications are right now open. We are advising persons to submit their applications. You can go to the Facebook page, which is the Entrepreneurship World Cup St. Lucia, and that will give you all the information that you need to know about Entrepreneurship World Cup. I'll be posting the link in the chat. Again, Entrepreneurship World Cup St. Lucia. Sledterra, my organization, is the national organizers of this competition. And what we're doing is we're trying to find the best entrepreneur, whether it be the idea stage, early stage, or established venture. We're trying to find the best business, the best entrepreneur who really represents St. Lucia and their business. And that winner will then be selected to travel to Saudi Arabia and represent St. Lucia and their business in the global finals. And that is in October of this year. And that is going to be held between the 4th to the 7th. Again, so I have posted the link in the chat, so you can go ahead and take a look at the page to get some more information about Entrepreneurship World Cup. All right, so I would like to say thank you to the sponsors and partners that we have for Startup Huddle St. Lucia. We have GEN. We also have Easy Click Tickets, who have always partnered with us to ensure that our events get out there. Thank you to my ambassadors. My ambassadors just happen to be past presenters of the Startup Huddle St. Lucia program. And also thank you to my team for being so motivated and driven to do this every single month. We do this the second Wednesday of every month. So the next Startup Huddle St. Lucia event, please mark your calendars, is going to be held in June, and that is the 10th of June. Again, the next Startup Huddle St. Lucia event will be hosted the 10th of June, where another 2 ladies from the Dream to Reality cohort will be presenting their business. It may not be food, it may be something else. So just stay tuned to our Facebook page, the Startup Huddle St. Lucia Facebook page, for updates on who our next 2 presenters are going to be. We would love to have you join us as well. So thank you so much, everybody, for turning up. Thank you for supporting, and thank you for contributing by participating. And of course, to our presenters, this is your moment to give back. You can give back either by sharing this information about Startup Huddle St. Lucia. You can give back by providing mentoring for persons so that they can, you know, get ready to present, because I know it's a nerve-wracking thing. Sherrian, you did so well with that presentation. I know it took hours to get it together, and I'm really proud of what you came up with. Wendy, you are such a tenacious young woman. I'm so very proud of you. And I know that there are many great things ahead for both of you. I also want to make mention of the fact that both of these ladies, after completing the Dream to Reality professional business training course and passing the course, they also took another course right after this one, and that was the online pitch training course that all persons take so that they can prepare themselves to present at Startup Huddle St. Lucia this event. And they did this in a matter of a few days. I mean, normally it is a 7-week course kind of spread out over a few days, but they did this in about 2 days. And I'm really glad to say that Wendy passed with a grade of 82.48%, and Sherrian passed with a grade of 84.11%. So ladies, you are tremendous and phenomenal women, and I applaud you. Kudos to you. So again, thank you so much for attending, everybody. Thank you. For those of you who are here, we have your email address. You'll be receiving a copy of this recording. It's also going to be pasted on our Facebook page, so you can check it out there as well. Does anybody have any last words for our presenters and for our expert panel before we leave and we say goodbye?
I have something to say, Michelle.
Okay, go ahead.
Okay, this is Lisa Yad, the project manager for Startup Huddle. I'd like to say special thanks to Chef Robbie for accepting our request at such a short notice. I really do admire the fact that he is very experienced in his field, and I know for a fact that the questions he asks, those two presenters will have their minds burning tonight. I really do appreciate the fact that those two presenters were able to present in such a professional manner, enough to have us engaged. And I wish them all the best. And I pray to God that even while we're going through this COVID-19 pandemic, that they will really search within themselves and try to do things to a greater impact. And as Chef Robbie says, to let us go outside of our little comfort zone and see what they can achieve, and let's take it from there. I wish you all the best. And to Chef Robbie, I really do appreciate the fact that you accepted this this challenge. It was very, very inspiring listening to you. Honestly, the questions were very great. I find in all our expert panelists, as Michaela said, kudos to you. I really do appreciate it. Thank you very much.
You're more than welcome. Pleasure is all mine.
I do echo that as well. Chef Robbie, do you have any last words for us? Basically, for all of us who are kind of looking up to you as the veteran.
Like I said, my whole life has been trying to help young people to springboard into bigger and better things. It gives me a lot of gratification, you know, to see people go from one stage to the next. I'm very always happy to help, you know, young entrepreneurs, and I would love to see, you know, like I said, something that I'm big on is trying to get all our hotels to have local executive chef. It annoys me seeing, you know, some guy from Belgium or some guy from England cooking our food and having our young cooks, you know, cooking it and making them look good, and they're making all the big money. So, you know, I want to see our people, you know, excel, and it gives me a lot of pleasure and a lot of gratification to help to be part of their journey. So whenever you need my assistance, I'm always there. Okay, and good luck to those two young women. You know, I'd love to see you guys 5 years down the road, top of your game, driving your big BMWs. All right.
Thank you so very much, Chef Robbie. Sherrian and Wendy, do you have any final words for Chef Robbie himself and your guests, your attendants, your audience, I should say?
Well, I just
okay.
Sorry.
That's okay.
I just want to say thank you for the advice that was given by Robbie and Isaiah. Is it Isaiah or Isaiah? I hope I'm pronouncing it right.
Isaiah.
Okay, thank you for that. I have taken note of some of the suggestions, and I will be exploring some of them. Not all of them, I'm not able, my capacity doesn't allow me to do all of them, but those that are more beneficial to my business at this time, I will be exploring some of them. And I want to thank you guys for that. To the persons who really gave me the encouragement, Ronetta, Michelle, oh my goodness, Michelle, thank you so much for helping me through this. You know, I had so much going on, so I had to get Michelle to really help me out here, and I'm so grateful for that. So thank you so much for that. And Ronetta, one of my fans trying to, you know, pep me up to go ahead and do this. You got this. Thank you so much. And to my peers from the ladies group, the professional ladies group, thank you so much for the support in the group, the WhatsApp group. I am most grateful for that. So all in all, thank you, everybody.
You're very welcome, Sherrian. Wendy?
Okay, very quickly, I would like to say a general thank you for being able to participate in this activity. It was nerve-wracking at the beginning, and there was a point where I even became overwhelmed and was wondering if I was going to be able to manage to present in a manner that would, you know, make sense. But I appreciate the opportunity to be able to promote and speak of my business. I want to thank you, Michelle, personally, at those times that you knew that I was a bit overwhelmed. You gave me the moral support that I needed to be able to dust off the feeling of being overwhelmed and to be able to push on. I want to thank the ladies from the Dream to Reality course. It has really been a learning experience to be able to engage and meet with others, even though it's on a virtual level, and to be able to gain. I really appreciate the comments from Chef Robbie, and you can be sure that I will be contacting you very, very soon, because you have stirred in me some more ideas for cheesecakes. I also want to thank my friends who are not in St. Lucia, who I extended the invitations to, and they made it their business to be able to join on this. I speak of Lisa, I speak of Gina, I speak of Andrea. I do appreciate your support. It gave me an extra added strength to be able to present. And thank you, Sherrian, for being able to meet you and for us to have made our mark as being the first from the Dream to Reality ladies group to be able to do this presentation. So all in all, thank you.
Okay, thank you so very much, ladies. Okay, so this is the end of our event, Startup Huddle St. Lucia Virtual, our May session, our May version. Again, do not forget our next event is going to be the 10th of June. Please like and follow our page on Facebook. Also, the links to the other pages are will placed there in the chat. Sherrian and Wendy, please also share your information as well so that other persons can reach out to you who do not yet have your contact information. And I just want to say thank you to all of you. And we're looking forward to see you next time. Bye.
All right, take care, guys. Bye. She's seeing me there, and I'm seeing her there. Okay.
Okay.